The story begins with a married couple who have slowly drifted apart. Both of them have jobs, they rarely eat dinner together, barely talk, and for the past 2 years they've even been sleeping in separate bedrooms. The MC starts wondering when their love became so cold. He comes home one day and even thinks, "Can't you at least say welcome home?" He feels like their relationship is already over. But then, while watching TV, a reporter talks about how there are things couples become too embarrassed to say after spending years together. Since it's apparently couple day, the reporter encourages viewers to say something they normally wouldn't. Taking the advice, the MC suddenly compliments the announcer's skin. Then he looks at his wife and says she's always had beautiful skin too. His wife is surprised by the sudden compliment and asks what's gotten into him. The MC immediately gets embarrassed and brushes it off. But that tiny compliment changes something. The next day, his wife actually dresses up, puts on makeup, and decides to make dinner. When the MC comes home, she's already preparing a meal and casually tells him she'll try cooking more often. That night, for the first time in 2 years, they sleep in the same bedroom. Then the perspective switches to the wife. She's confused by her husband's sudden change. She starts wondering if something is going on. But at the same time, she realizes something important. She also misses the relationship they used to have. She starts putting more effort into herself, cooking his favorite food and even dressing up despite being at home. And she realizes she's doing all of this because she still loves him. Then the MC comes home with flowers. He explains that he thought it would be nice for them to have a drink together once in a while. His wife has made hamburgers one of his favorite meals. They both start thanking each other, but even saying something as simple as, "Thank you," feels embarrassing because they've gone so long without communicating properly. The MC then tells her he'll leave work early the next day and make dinner himself. He says they've spent too long living separate lives and suggests that, from now on, they should try to have dinner together as often as possible. But his wife pulls away, and that's when we finally understand the real problem. She doesn't just want him to do things differently. She wants him to actually say that he wants their relationship back. Later, she breaks down because she's scared of making the first move. When the MC notices she's been crying, he refuses to ignore it and asks her what's wrong. She finally admits that his sudden changes confuse her. She says that if he doesn't explain things, she has no idea what he's thinking. And the MC realizes that this lack of communication is exactly what caused their marriage to fall apart. He apologizes for being insensitive. Then his wife finally admits the truth. She never stopped loving him. She had been exhausted from work before and kept pushing him away, but that didn't mean she didn't care about him. She thought she was the only one who still had feelings. But now she realizes that her husband still loves her too. The two finally start opening up to each other again. He compliments her cooking, her appearance, and tells her that she looks beautiful even without makeup. She returns the compliment, telling him that he looks great in his suits and thanking him for all his hard work. And after years of distance, they finally share a kiss. It's awkward, embarrassing, and honestly a little cute, but it's also the moment their relationship finally starts again. And honestly, my review for a manga that's only 5 chapters, I think the story is surprisingly good. What I really liked is that it doesn't magically fix their marriage with one huge event. It shows how small efforts, compliments, communication, and actually trying to understand each other can slowly bring two people back together. I also really liked how the story keeps changing perspectives between the husband and wife. We get to understand what both of them were thinking instead of assuming only one person was responsible for their failing marriage. For such a short manga, it manages to tell a complete story about a couple who thought their love had disappeared, only to realize that the feelings were still there. If you enjoy mature romance and stories about repairing relationships, this one is definitely worth checking out.